everybody. Welcome to the very first episode of the Podcast Racer. My name is Tyler, and this is a brand new podcast I'm starting, all about Star Wars, hence the name. I am very new to podcasting, and I am not an audio engineer, so I am probably doing a terrible job, and I apologize. Ultimately, this is just going to be a fun side thing I do every once in a while, hopefully with some friends and family at times, though today it is just me. And basically, my idea with this podcast was just to have a place where I can talk about Star Wars positively, because I feel like there's way too much negativity in the Star Wars fandom. So I want to, as somebody who loves Star Wars, I love and adore Star Wars. I want to share that love, and I want other people to experience that love. And that's what this is going to be ultimately. And I have a lot of plans. I have some segments and some people that are that should be joining me for some certain episodes later on. I'm being weirdly vague, but I just don't want to promise anything and then not deliver. What you need to know about me, though, again, like I said, my name is Tyler, and I have been a Star Wars fan for 22 years now. Oh, I'm old. Ever since I was 10 years old. And I got a VHS copy of The Phantom Menace from a garage sale. Thank you, Mom. As soon as I watched that, it changed my life. I watched that movie probably like 38 times or something in the first year I had it. It was on constant repeat. I'm sure my parents absolutely regretted that. I'm pretty sure they ultimately bought me episode 2 just so that there would at least be something different I could be playing on the VCR. But yeah, I've been I did start with the prequels actually before the original trilogy, minus episode 3 because that didn't come out until I was 12. Which that made that the very first Star Wars movie I saw in theaters. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. I wanted to do this first episode as kind of an introduction. And I am not following any kind of script or outline, which I really should have done an outline. This is about the 5th or 6th time I've recorded this. Hopefully this time I don't turn it off in disgust. But yeah, I just wanted to spread some positivity, kind of introduce myself, and talk about today's special topic, which is Lego Star Wars. I have recently played through all of the Lego Star Wars games, not counting the complete saga, because I played 1 and 2, and then I just was like, I don't want to essentially replay 1 and 2 with slight tweaks and improvements. I'm sorry. I know everybody says that it's the best, but I just didn't feel like it. And I'm gonna kind of rank them. Again, this should be kind of a short episode, but I just kind of wanted to talk about my feelings and then kind of rank them. In a positive note, because again, I want this podcast to be about the positivity and the love of Star Wars. Even if I'm critical of things, I'm gonna do it as lovingly, as positively as I can. So, we start with 2005's Lego Star Wars. I was quite excited to hear about this. At that time, there wasn't a lot of Legos or a lot of Lego games. There were some. I had Lego Racers as a kid on N64. That game, that was a really good kart racer. Well, okay, it was a really broken kart racer, but I had a lot of fun with it. And there was, of course, like the Lego Island games and stuff. But point is, there wasn't any like licensed Lego games. Lego Star Wars was the first, and I remember hearing about it. I'm like, wow, that's such an odd thing to do, but okay, I'm okay with it. And I didn't have a GameCube at the time, or like a PS2 or an Xbox or anything like that. I had an N64. I did not get a GameCube until 2007. Then I got a Wii in 2008. So that's a whole other story. But yeah, up until then, when it came to home consoles, I had a Genesis, a Super Nintendo, and an N64. But Lego Star Wars was also coming to the PC, and I had a PC, of course, or my family did. So I saved my money that summer, I believe. Yeah, it was that summer. I saved money that summer. I did some odd jobs, did some stuff for the neighbors, and I earned enough money to go and buy Lego Star Wars for the PC. And I bought it. I was so excited, and it wasn't compatible with our computer. And I was a very sad Tyler that day. But I have played it now. I played it on GameCube, actually. And it covers episode 1, 2, and 3, just the prequel era. And I have to say, it is a very fun game. It's um, a very basic game, but a very fun game. It would be a lot more fun in co-op. That's true with all of these games, I know. But it's just me here. So I still had a lot of fun, though. Specifically, I had fun when it came to using a Jedi character. Because, unfortunately, I don't know, the gameplay with the guns just... Or the blasters, I should say. It just isn't quite as fun. A little basic. But, I don't know, had a lot of fun with the lightsabers. And thankfully, there was a lot of lightsabers to go around. There was some interesting decisions for the story. Now, you should know, if you don't know, in the original Lego Star Wars games, there was no spoken dialogue. It was just mumbling and pantomime to tell the stories. And there's a lot of funny things that you can do with that. I, for whatever reason, though, um, well, I kind of know the reason, but episode 2 did not start until Camino. That might not have made sense. The episode 2 part, the Attack of the Clones part of Lego Star Wars, it didn't start until the Camino section, until Obi-Wan went to Camino. So the entire first, I don't even know how long, of the movie is completely skipped over. And then the stuff with Anakin and Padme, Anakin and Padme don't show up until they head to Geonosis to rescue Obi-Wan. That's the first time they're entering into the story. Until then, you're just following Obi-Wan. Which also means you completely skip over the Tusken Massacre, which is an absolute shame. Okay, now that's actually kind of a terrible thing for me to say, but it would have been funny in Legos. But no, you skip a lot of the story, and I kind of understand it. Like, imagine trying to see Anakin and Padme's love scenes with just mumbles and pantomime. That would be almost as bad as the action. I'm being mean. I'm being mean. I love Star Wars, including Attack of the Clones. I just like to make fun of the dialogue sometimes. Which, to be fair, I'm pretty sure George Lucas has made fun of the dialogue too. But no, nothing but love. But no, seriously, like it is an interesting decision. Like there's not even like any like the Coruscant stuff would have been. To me at least, a logical starting point with a good action sequence. It's like the Coruscant chase. But that leads to the other odd thing about this game is that there's no vehicle levels. It's all land-based, or like, yeah, all the land-based platforming type, levels. With the exception of the pod race, which is also the worst level in the game, so fair enough. But yeah, no vehicles. I think they just decided like, hey, let's focus on one style of gameplay for the most part and just try to make that shine as good as possible. And to be fair, I think they did a great job. And yeah, I had a lot of fun playing through the game. Another interesting fact about it is that it came out before Revenge of the Sith came out. Like I think a week or two before, which I remember even at the time being like, what? like why would you spoil the movie for yourselves before? Like, I don't understand. The official game, I think, the official Star Wars Episode 3 game, I think was even earlier. I think that was like a full month before the movie came out. And I'm just like, why are you spoiling yourselves, guys? Wait and watch the movie. I mean, whatever. I was a 12-year-old. I wasn't buying them anyways. Some good times though. Anyways, there is a bonus level in the game, which is the opening scene of A New Hope, the Tantive 4. and it's a completely unique level. Like the Lego Star Wars 2 would cover the original trilogy. It did not feature this level. It had a completely different opening level. So it's unique, and honestly, it's totally worth unlocking. I think, at least. I had a lot of fun with it. I did most of the stuff in the game. It is very easy. They don't. There's not a lot of collectibles or anything. Like there's just the mini kits basically. Uh, I had a lot of fun. It's a great game. I don't know what else to say. It's Lego Star Wars, the original. Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. I also played on GameCube. That one is better in pretty much every way, especially with the blasters. Like I don't even know how to properly explain it. It's a lot more fun to use the blasters in Lego Star Wars 2, which is good because the original trilogy relied on the blasters more than they did the lightsabers. Um, there is also vehicle levels this time, like real true vehicle levels, which is which is great. It's nice. But yeah, it's bigger, it's better. There's a lot more to collect, and I don't know, for whatever reason, I just don't like it as much as I did the original. I know that's a controversial thing. Like it's in pretty much every way, it's the original but better. But I don't know. It just for me, it didn't click like the original one did. It might be that there was more to collect. That actually might have actually been like a deterrent for me. Because like in the original game, if you got a true Jedi in the story mode when you first did a level, then hey, good job, you got the true Jedi for that level. For the original trilogy, though, for Lego Star Wars 2, there's a separate true Jedi for both the story mode level and the free play level, and to me that was just extra busy work. Like I had no desire to get all the true Jedi's if I have to get them for essentially twice in my mind. There's also more other collectibles. That was I don't even know how to properly explain all of them, but there's a lot more collectibles. They really want you to replay a lot of the levels and kind of push you towards it. And I'll be honest, it was kind of too much for me. Like I just if I was a kid at the time, I would feel completely different. But I think because I was like, okay, I'm playing through all of the Lego Star Wars games. To me, it just was getting in the way and was kind of annoying, and I did not feel any desire to keep playing it. So if we're doing the rankings, to me it is Lego Star Wars and then Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, and that I know is going to be controversial. And yeah, in most ways, I do think, like on a very technical level, it is the superior game. But I just kind of prefer the original. Now, Lego Star Wars, the complete saga, I didn't play for this, but I did play it before. And my brother, he loved the game. He was obsessed with the complete saga. So I'm not gonna rank it because it's not on there, but I have played it before, and I do know that it's they kind of took the improvements from two and put it to the one levels as well. They included new actual vehicle levels, and like and like the Attack of the Clones now actually starts at the beginning of Attack of the Clones with a vehicle level taking place during the Coruscant chase. So that's nice. Um, yeah, in a lot of ways it is superior. I know, but again, I didn't play that version. In retrospect, maybe I should have. Maybe I should have bought the PC version of Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga and played that instead of Lego Star Wars 1 and Lego Star Wars 2 separately. But nah, no, whatever. I'm standing by the way I did this. So, skipping over that one, Lego Star Wars 3. This is a game, I remember even at the time, I was like, why does this exist? Like, it was based off the Clone Wars, which I love the Clone Wars. But, like, considering that this was just season 1 and 2 of the Clone Wars, which I think most people would agree are the weakest seasons of the Clone Wars. I don't know. It's just kind of an odd thing to base the game on. At least that's what it seemed at the time. Like especially because especially season 1 and 2 were a lot more episodic. So what's the narrative of this game? And well, there really isn't one. Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars, does not really have an overarching narrative. It's really just accept missions that are based off of specific episodes of the Clone Wars, and go over seasons 1 and 2. There's like a map you can follow with like 3 branching paths, and that's kind of how you get your missions. And they kind of group them to try to match, to sort of tell an overarching story, but like that doesn't really work. um, the very first level, though, the tutorial level, is actually a recreation of the Battle of Geonosis, like the big in the Colosseum. That one, that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. There's the hub world is interesting because it takes place on the command ship. I don't know what it's I don't remember what it's called. I know it had a name. I just don't remember. But like basically Anakin's clone ship, the one where that admiral guy was. I sound like a fake Star Wars fan. I don't know. I don't remember all the names, but yeah, it takes place. The hub world's all in there. But you can explore it. Like you can really explore it. You can find more bonus levels. Find things to unlock other things and things to do, and it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. The hub world is pretty amazing. In fact, I was shocked when I found out. Like I eventually found the hangar, and I'm like, oh, cool, the hangar. Oh, you can get ships here. That's neat. Oh, you can enter ships. Wait, you can fly out. Holy crap! Wait, you can fly into the Separatist ship over there where all the bad guys are. And then you could go and find more secret levels in here. And I'm like, holy crap, this is amazing. And yeah, this game, it's at the top for me. I don't know what to say. It's just something about this game fully clicked. And even though nobody talks about it, everybody's like, oh, yeah, no, Lego Star Wars, that was only really good with the complete saga or whatever. Guys, you gotta try Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars. It's actually really, really good. It's still using the pantomime. It still mumbles and pantomime. It's not really like again the overarching story isn't really there, so it's just more just like episodic. But it really works. It's a lot of fun. They have like these some of the levels are actually like RTS type levels almost. I don't think that's the exact proper one. Honestly kind of closer to Battlefront, I suppose, because there's like command posts, but it's all in Lego. It's I don't know how to properly explain them. It's like RTS Battlefront Light. Like it's like a combo light version of those. And they're very basic and kind of all the same, but I don't know what it is. They're just really fun. And the final boss of the game, I guess spoilers if you really care about the final boss and you don't know about the Clone Wars, but it's the Zillo Beast. The Zillo Beast is the final boss, and it was a lot of fun. I loved Lego Star Wars 3: The Clone Wars. If you've never played it and you like the complete saga and stuff, you gotta give it a shot. It's really good. So yeah, that goes to the top for me. Okay, next up, we took. Well, I was gonna say it was then a while before the next Lego Star Wars game, but actually not that long. It was only about 5 years or so until Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens, as I like to call it, Lego Star Wars 4, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Um, Now, the interesting thing about this game, well, there's a lot of interesting things about this game. Um, but the thing for me is that it's just based off of one movie. Like, the other games were based off of three movies, 2 seasons of a television show, and now one movie. Uh, in case it's not obvious from hearing that, there's some padding, but it's still good. It's still a Lego Star Wars game. However, it kind of feels more like a Force Awakens tie-in game. Like, I mean, it is. It literally is, of course. But like, even more so than, for example, the original Lego Star Wars. Even though like a lot of like you look at the cover and stuff, and you might think, oh, this is like more of a Revenge of the Sith game. No, Revenge of the Sith is in it, but it is first and foremost a Lego Star Wars game. Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens honestly feels like it's first and foremost a video game adaptation of The Force Awakens that just happens to be made of Lego. Like that's the best way I can think of to describe it, and that might sound really cool or really bad. So this is the first game in the series to have voice acting, which might be heresy for some people. The interesting thing to me is that it's voice acting that's taken directly from the movie. Like they took the voices from the movie and put them in here. But of course, that won't cover everything. So they then had the actors come in and voice more lines to tie everything together. Which means that Harrison Ford recorded lines for a Lego video game. And that is just, it boggles the mind. This is also the first one to have like multiple hub world type things. I don't know what they call them, but like pretty much any of the planets in the movie you can go to, and there's like a small hub world thing that you can kind of explore and then choose the story mission to continue or whatever. I'm not the biggest fan of this setup, but it's okay. It kind of works here. It just feels a little bit more. I kind of prefer the continue story, see the cutscene, and then continue, as opposed to go to a new planet and then having to walk over to do it. I don't. It just seems like extra busy work to me. But at the same time, they kind of needed extra busy work to pad this game out. I know. So it might sound like I'm kind of like it might sound like I hate this game, like the way I'm talking. I don't know. I don't. It was a very fun game. It started with the Battle of Endor, actually, which was really cool. Seeing a new version of the Battle of Endor, and after the Battle of Endor, it did also include the battle with Luke and Vader versus the Emperor, which makes sense. But at that time, it's almost like, okay, you guys are really padding for time here, aren't you? And again, like I said, it is very obvious with it. With some of the levels, you're just kind of like, why is this a level in a game? And it's because they needed to pad some of the time. There's also a lot of bonus missions that I did not do. I just didn't really feel the need to or the desire to. And some of them you have to, like, especially because the levels were longer now. The levels were longer with more set pieces. Like in Lego Star Wars 1, it was easy to be like, oh, well, I need to run back through the level and pick up some more studs in order to get True Jedi. Where here it's like, well, there's like 5 things that are blocking me from going back. And if I replay this level, it's going to take me another 15 minutes. So, no, I'm not going to get True Jedi. Again, I feel like I'm being so negative towards this game. I don't want people to think that I'm actually negative towards this game because I'm not. I had a lot of fun. It's just, I had fun with it as a Force Awakens adaptation game, as opposed to a Lego Star Wars game. Again, if that makes sense. I hope I explained that pretty well earlier. If you're going in expecting actual Lego Star Wars 4, not really. I mean, kind of, but not really. If you're going in like, oh hey, a video game adaptation of The Force Awakens that just happens to be Legofied, I think you'll have a good time. That's kind of how I would approach it. The actual gameplay in the levels, though, is still very much kind of what. Well, my cat's going crazy out there. But yeah, it is. It does play very similar to the other Lego Star Wars games. So I do recommend it. Just again, expect it as a Force Awakens game first, Lego game second. There is a lot of characters in that though. That is actually one of the things that was so funny to me as I was playing it was just being like, I'm sorry, I unlocked that character. Like I didn't even know that character had a name. Like it's one thing to be like, oh hey, I'm playing as like Hammerhead from the cantina scene. It's a whole other to be like, oh, I'm this one specific background character from like 30 feet away. Also, you can unlock J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy as playable characters. That is the weirdest thing ever. Why didn't you include George Lucas? I don't I don't care about those two. Give me George Lucas. I don't know. There's some weird decisions made there, but again, overall, I do recommend it within reason. Now the question is, where would I then put it in my ranking? I want to say that I give it. I see. I feel weird. I don't know how to because again, I like it if I don't approach from it as a Lego game first. But for ranking, I kind of have to, don't I? I guess I do because like while I enjoy this game quite a bit, and I arguably had more fun playing it than I did Lego Star Wars 2. At the same time, as a Lego game, I do think it's lacking because it's bloated. So yeah, I think right now that's at the bottom. No offense to it. Again, I think it's still good. Just I compared to the others as Lego games, I think it has to be Lego Star Wars 3, Lego Star Wars 2, and then Lego The Force Awakens. Which leads us to our final game here, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Everybody I knew was excited for this game when it was announced. Um, and even I was like, oh, cool, awesome. Like, now that we had the sequel trilogy, which ups and downs there, but again, we're focusing on the positives. Um, Now that we had all of it, though, it's really cool to now see it all included together. One huge story and all in one huge game. And again, I remember liking Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga fine, I was like, cool, just take the Lego Complete Saga, remake all of that with the new graphics, maybe add some new levels or whatever, and then you know add in like the most important levels from the Force Awakens, and then just make two more just sets of levels for Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. Put it all together, add a bunch of characters, and bada bing, bada boom. There you go. That's what I was expecting. That is not what they were doing at all. Holy cow! I by the time I heard things, I knew that like this did not play like the other games or whatever. I was not ready when I got in here though. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga is seemingly almost completely divorced from the rest of the series. Like it's completely from scratch essentially. Like yes, there are levels with mini kits and the studs that you can get the true Jedi. All that good stuff is still technically here, but it's completely different. And so basically, the way it works is that each episode has 5 levels. Imagine a lot of like quotation marks around the word levels, though, and I'll get there. So each level has, you can get True Jedi. It has 5 only. This time, only 5 mini kits per level, and 3 secret objectives. I'm assuming there's a way to see what these secret objectives are, but I just kind of I'm not gonna play it again probably. So whatever. I didn't really care about them. Of course, you should sort of care to a degree because you need all that in order to level up your characters. And yes, I did just say leveling up in a Lego Star Wars game. Combat is actual combat. And yes, there's actual combat with combos and stuff in a Lego Star Wars game. It's very, very weird. I applaud them for thinking outside the box and trying to do things differently, but it may have gone a bit too far in a few places there. It's it takes a lot of getting used to, especially if, again, like me, you just went through all of the Lego Star Wars games and now you get to here and it's just completely different. Now, when you start the game up, it defaults to Episode 4, A New Hope. I am the kind of person that, like, wants to start with Episode 1, though. To me, I'm like, look, this is one story, Episode 1 through Episode 6, or Episode 9 now. It's one story. I want to start from Episode 1, and I want to end at Episode 9. But it defaults to Episode 4, which I thought was a little weird. Because, again, this is advertised as the Skywalker Saga. I don't know. But I'm like, okay, that was the first movie to come out, so maybe they're just doing that. I don't know. However, you can choose which episode you start with. Well, I should say you choose what trilogy you want to start with. At the start, Episode 1, Episode 4, and Episode 7 are unlocked. And you can start with any of those, and then when you unlock each episode of the trilogy after you complete the one before. So I just moved over to Episode 1, started from there. I started with a hub world. That hub world led me to another hub world, which led me to another hub world, which led me to a very, very, very quick, easy, basic vehicle level. And then that led me to another hub world, which led me to another hub world. And I think you see my issue here. The hub world thing has gone to an absolute insane degree. The game is mostly about the hub worlds. Now, to be fair, there is a charm here to it. Like the idea of like, oh, I'm traveling to this planet and I'm looking around at some of the sites and stuff. Yeah, that is kind of cool. It is kind of neat to be like wandering through the Dune Sea and on Tatooine and stuff and going to Beggar's Canyon. Of course, I don't think they were literally right next to each other. And like for example, there's like 10 feet for between the Lars homestead and the Tuscan camp. I don't think that's the case. And I think that's kind of my issue here. Like, I appreciate the idea, but I think the idea kind of falls flat because it's also trying to be a kid-friendly Lego game. So you can't really have as big open levels. Like it's not like an exact replica. And then I understand it's like, well, you don't want that in a Lego game. Yeah, I know. So why did you guys act like it? Like, why are you trying to imitate something that nobody wants in a Lego game? I don't know. Like, I'm a little mixed on that, in case that's not obvious. So, yeah, the idea of levels in this game is very loose. There are ground-based levels like the original game. There are boss levels like the original games. There are vehicle levels. And I'll be honest, the vehicle levels are the best part of the game. Kind of by far. But, well, there's not a healthy balance here. Okay, Episode 1 you have you start with the bongo. That's the first actual level in the Phantom Menace here. Is riding the bongo through the core of Naboo. And ultimately, when I say riding the bongo, it's like an on rails shooter essentially, and it's over in like 2 minutes or something. Like it is super short. It is ridiculous how simple and easy it was. As soon as I finished it, I had a absolute horrified look on my face. Like, this is the game? This was my first level? The second level doesn't show up until Tatooine. It's the pod race. Yeah. Well, this one was a little bit more of an actual race than the original. Like it's good. It's a pretty decent one. It's no N64 pod racer, of course, or N64 episode 1 racer, but it's still pretty fun. I will admit. It's also pretty quick and easy and simple. It's again just a pod race. So yeah, that was easy. That was quick. Okay, what's the next level? What was? Oh yeah, no, the next level doesn't take place until because there's 5 levels. So the first level is the bongo. The second level is the pod race. The third level is the Gungans fight on Naboo. The fourth level is I think it's Darth Maul. It's the fight against Darth Maul, and then the fifth level is Anakin blowing up the droid control ship. So yeah, when it comes to actual levels of the game, in episode 1, 3/5 of those levels are all the final battle, and the other two are just very basic vehicle levels. And I'm kind of using quotes for vehicle levels because that bongo was not really a vehicle. I mean, it was, but I mean, like in the game play, it was essentially an on-rail shooter deal. It was bad. Like it was bad, but okay, whatever. I started getting into like okay, this is how things work. Everything else, I should mention though, they don't just skip over the rest of the game or anything, or the rest of the story. No, 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 no. They you go through the rest by going through the hub worlds. You travel to another hub world. You walk over there, get like another cutscene. Walk over there, get another cutscene. Walk over there, get another cutscene. It's so much of this game is just walking through hub worlds to get to another cutscene, and it's not great. It's not great. But I will say the blaster gameplay is a lot of fun, and I realized that once I got over to the original trilogy section. It is clear to me that the original trilogy is where they spent most of the time on this game because it is the best part of the game. It is a lot of fun. I started having a lot of real fun. Yeah, there is still the hub world stuff that you got to get used to, but it was sort of toned down a bit here. Like it wasn't as obvious. Like it seemed more balanced here. Like the levels seemed longer. The hub world seemed kind of not necessarily shorter, but like quicker to navigate. Like less time in the hub worlds. It was just a lot more fun. I really did enjoy the original trilogy section of this game. And then you get to the sequel trilogy section. Um, Force Awakens did okay. Force Awakens was kind of fine. It was kind of more of the original trilogy stuff, but you hit the Last Jedi, and it is an immediate nosedive. The Last Jedi is the worst section of this game, and I look. I have my issues with the movie, but I was not going in with like a hatred or anything. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see how a Lego-fied version of this. This should be fun. Again, I might not enjoy watching the movie all that much, but I'm ready to have some fun with the Lego version. And the developers were just like, no. The hub world is somehow so much worse now. So like it's all hub world pretty much, and then the few levels, apart from like the first level, which I actually did enjoy the first level. Um, it starts off because it was a space battle. It's the space one where you're Poe and everything, and that I did like. Um, but holy cow, the rest of this section of the game was so bad, so very bad. One level was essentially just you're just Kylo with Rey, and all the stormtroopers because you're Kylo, because all the stormtroopers are totally cool with you. So there's no enemies in this level. Um, and so it's literally just walk to the throne room, and there's the fight in the throne room afterwards. But the actual level where you can find all the collectibles and stuff is essentially just a one long hallway. If I wasn't, I mean, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to get True Jedi for this, so and I did. So I was like going into the different rooms, but there's nothing of note in those rooms really. Some funny dialogue, which I'll get to in a sec, but apart from that, this game is just all like this level was just all a hallway essentially, just walking down this hallway. I think there's like one puzzle you got to do in order to enter the room. It's a really easy puzzle, and I was appalled and laughing at the same time. It was so bad. I don't know how you do this. Uh that was bad. And then Rise of Skywalker wasn't much better. It was a little better with the levels, but not much. It's clear they did not care to spend much time working on those levels. Or I say that I don't want to like accuse the developers of not giving it their all or anything. I assume that a lot of this was also just like short development time or whatever. They just focused on the levels that they knew more people would play. That's kind of what I'm assuming is more of the case. Like again, I'm trying to be positive here, so I'm kind of like assuming this. But yeah, gameplay wise, I'm not a huge fan of this one. But I wanted to get all that out of the way because I wanted to then focus on the presentation side of things. First off, the graphics are gorgeous. Like these look like actual Lego pieces. Like they have the same like like you look at them and they look like Lego pieces. They have the right detailing. You can see like the scratches and dust on them and stuff. Like it's so cool. That is a really cool element of this game. And the voice acting, honestly, I really like the voice acting here because, well, so on the prequel side of things, they're using essentially the Clone Wars cast. So hearing the Clone Wars cast say some iconic lines is pretty awesome. There are some people that are voiced by their actual movie, because Anthony Daniels, because he's 3PO for life, apparently. Except for, like, one video game. That was a weird thing. But, anyways. He's almost always C-3PO, so, of course, yeah, Anthony Daniels is in this. And it's great hearing him. Billy D. Williams played Lando. I'm always happy to hear more Billy D. Williams. I don't remember everybody else. I think there was a couple more. But point is that, yeah, some people came back to redo their roles. Some people are new. Everybody does a good job though, and what's best is the dialogue, the humor. I'll be honest, I laughed so many times with this. Some jokes at the prequel trilogy's expense, original trilogy's expense, sequel trilogy's expense, and It's lighthearted. They're not taking any of this too seriously. They're playing with some fun fan jokes and stuff, and it's great. Again, the humor is fantastic. I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, I'm going to immediately turn off the dialogue and just get the mumble." Honestly, don't do that. Honestly, they probably shouldn't have even had it be an option because you get the wrong idea of the game. At that point, it's just a walking simulator with mumbles. Don't do that. Have the dialogue on. Laugh at the jokes because that's what this game is. And so again, I it's not a great Lego Star Wars game by any means. But I do enjoy the humor, and again, the graphics are nice. And the original trilogy part was pretty dang good. That's yeah, it's at the bottom of the list though. So that pretty much wraps it up. Again, that was Lego Star Wars 3 at the top, Lego Star Wars 2, Lego Star Wars the Force Awakens, and then Lego Star Wars the Skywalker Saga. Like that's how I ranked them. I had fun throughout though, and honestly, I would recommend checking them out. Lego Star Wars 3 is obviously the one I recommend the most, especially if you played the originals back in the day and you never bothered with 3, give it a shot. I really enjoyed it. Um, I honestly check out the Skywalker Saga if you want to like explore the worlds a little bit more with a comedic twist. I think you might have some fun. Just keep in mind some of the levels are not great, but that's a whole other thing there. I do recommend checking some of these Lego Star Wars games out, and I hope we get more Lego Star Wars. I love Lego Star Wars. Some great stuff. All right, that's gonna be our episode for today, I believe. Looks like I'm looks like I'm over 45 minutes of just yapping around or yapping about Lego Star Wars. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's what kind of podcast this is. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hopefully things will improve on my end here with as I get used to audio recording and speaking and all that good stuff. And also, hopefully next time we'll have a guest. I think we will. We'll see. No promises. But thanks again, guys. Catch you next time, and may the force be with you.